What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 13 different altcoins today. Hit that like button and subscribe, and let's get started without any more tomfoolery. Here's the list of the cryptos that we're going to be talking about. GFI, Floki, and TAO for Flower Child. Velo for the Unleavened Baptist. Unleavened Baptist, we're going to talk about XRP and another one, don't you worry. It's going to get its own video, actually. Rune and KCS for AG Lisa? Or A6 Lisa, I don't know. I wrote that down. My daughter spilled bubbles, man. She spilled bubbles on this. This was full and now it's empty on this notepad, so it is blurry. But Rune and KCS for AG or A6 Lisa. BELLSCOIN for Chappie. KSM and Whiff for DK Foo. Matic for Crypto Beast, GRT and Rune for Flower Child, and XCN for Cactus. And man, those last ones are blurry, but I can still make it out at least. All right, guys, let's get started. One last time, hit that like button, and let's get going. So Goldfinch here, I don't know why I had it pulled up on the monthly. It's a very new chart. I don't think it's worth looking at on the monthly. We can look at it on the weekly and still get the same observation here. From a low point to a high point, holding support on your 382, love to see it. Kind of, it's not a double bottom, right? But you did tip it here and then you closed around that same area. Yes, you wicked all the way down here. Where you wicked to actually was like right at your closing highs, right here, previous areas of resistance, previous areas of resistance. So I really do like this look a lot. I think I'm very confident that that was the low for Goldfinch, and I would be very surprised if you went too much lower than $1.91. I don't think, if you did, a little bit, but I don't know if you'll even interact with that level again. This is a common thing that you see in the fibs. From low to high, you come to your 382 and find support there, sometimes just below, and that's okay. It's very common to actually go below your 382 on the first pass. This happened to be the second pass, but whatever. Find support here on strong moves, which I think this is absolutely a strong move. I'm curious, did you do the same thing over here? Man, you reached for it, you couldn't even get down there, just showing real strength here. I would say that you are ready for your next move up. Higher lows, higher highs, you're probably getting ready for your next higher high, and where is that going to take you? This is over a longer period of time, probably over the months to come, potentially by the end of the year, but certainly over the months to come, if not sometime early next year. $9, $14.78, something like that is what you have on the horizon. And this thing looks like it loves to move up fast. This is the weekly chart, so I mean, it genuinely could be by the end of the year. As crazy as it sounds, you're at 263, $9, $14, even above that, man. By the end of the year, absolutely you could. In fact, let's compare it to what you've seen already. So from this relative high here to the relative low, you went up to your 1618. Beautiful, tipped it. Beautiful. That's nice. All the way up to your 2. Look at that, man. 1618 resistance, 2618 resistance, 1618 support, 1414 support on the tip there. Are you going up to your 3618? Are you going all the way up to $19, man? I don't know. That is crazy. I love seeing stuff like that. And oftentimes you do get a lot of respect off of these like last little wind up moves, right? Like this is the move down that set you for these moves up, right? This whole move down, of course, did, but like this, it's I don't know. It could just be a coincidence. I don't think it is, man. You've got very direct significance throughout. This is really cool. That might be something to consider looking forward. Let's see, high to low here, went all the way up to your 2886, right? So hitting those deeper extensions for sure. High to low, I don't see any reason why we couldn't expect at least $9, but maybe $15 or $14.78 isn't even the tip of the iceberg. Maybe you are moving up higher, and I just want to see what this lines up with, that 1618, if it lines up with any fibs from this one back here, or if it's near any of them. 1618, kind of in the middle of nowhere. Maybe you're moving up to that 3618, man, all the way up around your 1886. Who knows? I'd feel very confident that its next move, its next high, probably by the end of this year, is going to come in anywhere from $11 to $21.60. That's a big range, I know, but you're at 260 now, so I mean that's a lot of gains either way, man. But I'm in favor of this like $15 to $20 area, $15 to $19 area. Let's look at the short-term stuff. I like your weekly RSI. Yes, you're below the 50, but you had a double bottom, a beautiful double bottom right off your 40, off the bearish area of control. You didn't even get in there. Looking great, right? You're in your overbought zone, deep in the overbought zone. You can't even get oversold. You can't even get in the bearish area of control. This is a very strong chart. Higher lows throughout. Like, dude, it looks really good. And of course, it's a strong chart. Look at these moves up, man. You move down pretty fast and consistent, and you're moving up even faster, right? Like this is, I'm excited. I'm really curious to see what happens over the coming months, honestly, with Goldfinch. Might be worth looking into. 263 right now, relative high to relative low here. You're breaking above your 382 after finding resistance on the 382, finding support on the 236. Classic maneuver when working your way up to the 618, 69 area. So this is your more immediate move that you're going to see is probably up to about 358 to 397. Yeah, that's what I would expect. Probably, I mean, it could happen by the end of this month, man. We've got a little bit of time left in this month, but it really could happen by the end of this month. This thing does like to move fast. If not, certainly sometime in the beginning of September, I would expect that you're up here, if not beyond. So Goldfinch looking good, vote of approval, stamp of approval. Good job. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, RSI looks good on the weekly, on the daily, on the 4. It all looks good. So yeah, good job. Looking good. Hell yeah. Floki Inu. Let's see, Floki on crypto. Sure, let's do it on that. This is one that's also been doing well, right? A little bit of a double top. This isn't a conventional double top though, right? A double top is like this, right? That's your double top. It's not like this, right? It's not like that. Like that. It's not that. So I do think this consolidation around the all-time high does say that you are going to break out and go higher. Where are you going to go higher, right? Starting off with that, high to low, probably around 11% of a penny, 11% of a cent, right? You're at about, you're like at a lot less than that. Actually, man, you're way lower than that right now. Wow. That's like an 8x from here. And probably higher. You probably don't stop there. I don't think Floki's going to stop here. I think it will go higher with the rallies it's having so far. But I wanted to get that underway here. Weekly RSI is not looking the best, to be completely fair. Overall, I like it. Overall, I do like it, especially since like February of 2023. I like it. But right now, you could go a little bit lower. I think you're fine to find support here. I think you are, but you could go a little bit lower. Let's look at the relative fibs here. I want to look at this high to low. 200 level, 1272, nice. Maybe you don't go low. Maybe you go lower from the current price, but not lower than that low. I like that as a low right there. And then from this low to this high, not the fake out high. 382, bro, tipped it. Positive reaction, yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. So your goal right now is to get above this 236. And again, you could go lower first, but not lower than this low, but just, you know, a little bit of a standard volatility, whatever you want to call it. But you get above that 152 or 153, is it one? Yeah, 153 area. You're good. You're good. You're probably going to be moving up higher in a very short amount of time. So that's your goal at the moment. I could see this thing being boring. You know, it's not conventional based off the charts, but the only reason why I could see it being boring for some time is if, and maybe not that long, right? Just maybe like toward like October or November of this year, is because Dogecoin's probably going to be boring, and I would expect that this thing runs up even more phenomenally if Dogecoin's doing well. But maybe not. It's kind of been doing its own thing, right? So most of these Dogecoin memes, they do run with Dogecoin, but this one's definitely been doing its own thing, that's for sure. So time will tell. I mean, but just for comparison's sake, right? Correlation coefficient, Doge on, we'll just do crypto, sure. Apply. Pretty correlated, right? Fairly correlated. That's what this is, right? The closer to 1 you get to this 100 level here, the more correlated you are. So that could give us a little bit of a foretelling that maybe Floki could be boring. I wouldn't expect it looking at the chart right now, but also if we think about it like this, you've got these higher lows coming into play here, right? Something like that. Maybe, I don't know if I like that. I like that line a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's not the most respected, but something like that. This we could just give a little bit. You know, I don't know. If you move sideways, you're not even gonna, that'd be too long, man. So maybe not. I don't know. I'm reaching for straws there, so never mind on that. But it could be moving sideways and being boring alongside with Dogecoin for the next couple months or so. Maybe even a little bit longer, but I do think that you'll start to see some fireworks fly by the end of the year and certainly going into next year. Looking at the daily, I'm going to get rid of that correlation coefficient there. Daily looks good. Actually, the daily would suggest you're going higher right now, which is cool. Yeah, I actually would think the daily goes higher. You could pull back afterwards. I think you're good, though, until 30157. So maybe not. I don't know, man. Maybe you are just moving up higher. Hard to say. By the dailies look, I would say you look like you want to go higher, actually. 4 hour here. Yeah, 4 hour looks good too. It agrees. So higher, up. Next target area would be 30157. I'm going to stick with that, actually. I think that's where you're going to go. If not higher, man. Let's look at this here. 30157, right? That's what I said. Yeah. Yeah, buddy, that's where you're going. 30157, 30165, somewhere in that zone. I'm quite confident that's where you're going to go. Don't be surprised if you get up here, you find resistance, then you pull back, find, you know, come down, find support there, or maybe even below the current prices like I was calling for earlier, and then move up. It's very common to go to your 61869 and then pull back to your 382. Very, very common maneuver to do so. Just keep that in mind going forward. All right, there's Floki TAO, USD, Kraken. And guys, I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you all for asking for the wishes. I appreciate you guys. It's pretty lame stuff. I'll be more open about it, about like what happened with me over the past, like, really it's over the past 3 years, but what I've like come down with over the past like week. I'll be more open with it once I go to the doctor. I've gone to the hospital. I know that sounds intense. It's really not intense. Once I tell you guys what's happening, it's going to be very anticlimactic. But I want to get a second opinion because I'm just kind of in disbelief of my diagnosis. But it makes sense at the same time, man. And I know I've been very vague. I know that this is like the most open that I've been talking about it. But I will talk more openly about it when I know for sure everything that's going on, and I promise you it's going to be very anticlimactic. But I'm doing a lot better. I think I figured out what's going wrong with me. I'm like I said, I'm on some medication that is definitely making me better. Have you heard me clear my throat one time in this video? Have you heard it, right? How many of you have been watching this channel for a year and a half, 6 months, 1 month? And every damn video, go watch, I'm always like, I always have to clear my throat. Not once. Not once, man. It's phenomenal. I'm definitely on the right path. Even if the diagnosis is right, or if it's a misdiagnosis, or I don't know. I definitely want a second opinion because I'm just kind of in disbelief. But it makes. I'm gonna stop talking about that. Okay, I'll be more open with it when I get the second opinion. I'm going to the doctor next Wednesday. Just a primary care. Nothing too serious. So, anyways, guys. Back to the task at hand here, okay, TAO USD on Kraken, maybe, on Binance, maybe, on, yeah, we'll do Binance. Binance is cool. High to low here. Beautiful, bro. Yeah, this is looking good. Oh yeah, Flower Child hitting us with some good ones, man. All up, all of them looking good. To be fair, TAO, you could find resistance right in this area, right at 338, and we'll look at the date, or we're at the daily RSI. You could. I want to see how this week closes for you. I want to see. I'm pretty curious. I want to see how the week closes for you. If you can close this week above 338, TAO is going to 463, 614. That's your given range, man. You close above that 886. You're going to these extensions. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. It looks really good. Tore through your 618, found support at the area. Closing above that 886 is all you need to do to get to this 463, 614 area, 615 area. Let's be real. You close above that, I mean, it's on to new all-time highs. I'm not going to count that wick as the all-time high. I mean, maybe there's more. There's no crypto chart or anything. Is there something that has more data? I'm not going to look it up. We're just going to base it off of this, but it looks really good, man. It does look really good. I just don't mistake my enthusiasm, my excitement for this as saying it's going to happen right now, because we have not closed above the 886 yet. It's very common to find resistance in this exact area that you're at. Pull back to this 786 zone right here, the 69 zone, the 618 zone, right? The 69 isn't even a fib, but honestly, this is something that I've noticed. You'll never read this. You'll never find this in a rule book. But when you find resistance in this area, the general rule of thumb is you go back to your 618 or your 786, right? And it's somewhere in that zone. But I've seen it plenty of times that you've actually gone right to that 6.9, even like literally right to the 6.9, even if it is not a fib. But there's a reason I have it on there, right? And it's beyond just that in itself. But it's not for jokes. It's because I actually think that it is a useful area. But that's just me personally. You know, if you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. You know, that's whenever I learned fibs, again, this is something that I noticed. I noticed that this area just above the 618 was interacted with both from coming upside and coming downside. You know, I've noticed that, so I implemented that myself. And from the places and the people that I learned how to use fibs from, they never mentioned that, right? So So you can take technical analysis and do it by the book, of course, but use your brain, use your own analytical skills to find out why are these areas like there's certain areas that are significant. You can notice that and apply that to your own analysis. Sometimes those areas are only significant to certain charts. They might not be significant to all charts, but it's better if you find one that's significant to all charts, but it's also good if you get to know a chart so well that you can find something that's specific to it. It all depends, right? But anyways, a little bit of a philosophy. I don't know what to call it there, but 333 right now. Curious to see what you do for the rest of the week. Certainly the 4 hour, the daily, it looks very bullish. I mean, you're overbought on the 4 hour. You're at the overbought zone on the daily right now. The weekly is looking productive for the amount of time that we have. Curious to see what you do. I'm hesitant to say that you are going to close this week above it, so let's just see. I'm just going to say let's just wait and see. Flower Child, definitely request this one again. Definitely request this one again, because by the time I do this request again, it'd probably be on Sunday, right? And it would be after the week closes. I think it would be worth looking into then. And if we're just like closing right around here, but we haven't moved down, but we're like closing right, we close right above it, like not giving us anything, and move sideways for a couple days, then I'll be like, we'll have to wait a few more days still. But you get a concise break above it or a concise rejection above it, we'll have a heading. I'm just hesitant to say that you're getting that break now. With how voluptuous, with how vigorous it looks right now, maybe vigorous is a better word, that it looks right now, I wouldn't be surprised if you did tear through the 886. I wouldn't be surprised if you are on your way to 463 to 614, 615. But it could be some time. So let's just move on from there, right? I've spun the wheels enough on that one. So Velo. And I promise you on Levin Baptist, I know you've requested XRP. I know you wanted to. Someone else wanted me to do an in-depth analysis on XRP, so I'm going to save that for its own separate video, but I promise you I will be doing that. You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna do it that way, because I'm probably gonna do that tonight, so I don't want to throw that in there. We'll look at XRP real quick. I won't throw that in the list in the description, but we'll just look at it real quick. Not on Coinbase. I always go to Coinbase. Not for XRP, man. Yeah, XRP, that's a nice bounce off the 50. It probably is getting ready to move up. I mean, honestly, next target area is like 70 cents, 73 cents, maybe even beyond that. You've interacted with this zone twice, so 80 cents, 85 cents. Then once you break that 85.5 cent, you're looking at above $1, absolutely above $1. So a little, what's the word I'm looking for? A little spoiler for the short-term XRP. Let's see, looking at Velo here though, from a relative high to a relative low, finding resistance on the 382, coming back down, boom, you're above it, I like it. Your next zone is going to be 1.68 cents to 1.86 cents, a little bit of a reversal there on the 6 and the 8. That'd be the next zone that I would expect you to go to. Don't be surprised if you find resistance there. You do have previous areas of support right here, so finding resistance there is totally normal, and then you could probably pull back down as well. I like that you found support in your 35, 40 area here. You got below it, but then got right back above it. You're above your 50. It looks phenomenal. It does look like, all in all, you're probably on your way up to like 4.2 to 6.9 cents, and even beyond that. You could be working off of this fib as well, from a high to a low. Look at that. Like I was saying, right? I'm not making it up. Perfect example. You found support right on your 6.9, right there. Not the 618, but the 6.9, right? I'm just saying. Coincidence? Maybe. Double bottom right off that. I'm just saying. Above your 886 again, based off of this, I would think, I mean, you're based off the way this looks, and I stand by what I said a second ago, right? You probably find resistance in this area. But overall, over the weeks and months to come, you're probably working your way up to like 3.5 cents, 5.4 cents, maybe even beyond that. But I would actually heavily emphasize this zone here for your next like stopping point. Oh, maybe, right? Yeah. I think that makes sense. Yeah. I'm gonna stick with that. Between 3.5 to 5.5 cents, somewhere in there. So looking good. I want to look at the daily real quick. The daily looks good, man. Yeah, you're moving up. Absolutely. So you're probably gonna move up right now, over the days, over the weeks to come, to that 618, 6.9. It looks so good, man. Yeah, dude, you might even tear through that. With this look, generally speaking, you find resistance on your 382, and then you go up to, and you find support on the 236, and then you go up here. But when you close above it and you consolidate like this, This is the kind of behavior that you expect to break through the 618. And you might go straight to your 786, you might go straight to your 886, and then pull back to your 618 or your 69 zone and find support. You might just break above the 618 and do exactly like what you did with the 382 here, consolidate and then move up, something like that. But curious to see what you do with this 1.68 cent, 1.86 cent area. But I do think you're going here, at least here, if not here or somewhere in between this little zone here. Yeah, we'll call it a stoplight, right? We'll just make it a little stoplight there. You're going to go to this stoplight zone somewhere in there. Velo, looking good, looking really good. Yeah, no problem. The RSI looks great, man, and your price action looks phenomenal as well. Love seeing it, man. I love seeing crypto looking bullish across the board, you guys. Rune, oh man, we're talking about Rune. I had Rune for AB or A6 Lisa and for Flower Child, so I'm only going to do it once. I didn't know that I had it written down there once. I read it off twice. Maybe you guys picked that up in the beginning of the video. Maybe you didn't, but we're only going to talk about it once. So I guess it is 12 cryptos, not 13 cryptos that I'm talking about in this video. That was my first one, man. That was my first little clearing of the throat, right? High to low here. Above your 236, I think you're going up to 453. Yeah, that's your next target area. I would say so, 453. You look like you're moving up there right now. Let's look at the relative fibs here on this little high to low here. 453. Yeah, 786, 886 zone, 435, 466, 453 is right in the middle there. So somewhere in this zone, yeah, you're probably going to move up there. It wouldn't be surprising at all if you found resistance in this zone. Maybe you consolidate and then move up. Maybe you move up here and then you move back down and then you move up. You know, it just depends. But probably your next area is somewhere up here. You're probably going to do that in a very short amount of time, like over the coming days, couple weeks, something like that. And then we'll go from there, right? You're still in a downtrend. I'm optimistic, and I want to say that you'll break through it on this next attempt. But let's just see how it looks, okay? Because it could look like this. It could look like this. It could look like that, and then you move down, and then you move up. You know, it could look like this. It's hard to say, right? And you could come all the way back down to your 618 and still be bullish. So you break above 466 though, it's on to $6 and beyond. I mean, really, it's on beyond that even, right? Like you're going to be getting that next phase up in this consolidation phase here, but 466 is the zone to watch. 453 based off of this. Yeah, 466, 453. When you break above that 466 zone, I would say 645, 720 is your next target. And then you break above that zone, 965. Then you break above that zone. It's on to potentially new all-time highs, man. By the end of the year, this thing could be at new all-time highs. It really could. Time will tell. We'll see how it goes. And if not by the end of the year, sometime in the early bits of next year. But that's Rune. I like it. I think it looks like it wants to move up in the short term, but maybe not as much as some of these other ones. KCS, I like KCS, man. This is one I think that's underrated. People don't talk about it, but man, it's a good exchange coin. I think. I think KuCoin's a good like first tier or second tier exchange, however you want to define it. I don't know if it's earned first tier status yet. It's at least a second tier exchange, but I mean it's an OG, man, and it has gone through a lot of trials and tribulations. I don't know. I think it's proven itself to be reliable and a safe bet, more or less. High to low, 618, 69 area, down to your 382. Nice little double bottom support here. Well, I guess not a double bottom technically, but closing here where you tipped before. I like it. You're probably going to move up to that $13, $15 area. When you break above that, we're looking at 1851 to 2284. I think you're going to move up from here. I don't think you're going to go lower. I'd be surprised if you had any time really below this 382 at all. I think you look like you want to continue moving up. And it's crazy because this weekly RSI would suggest you go lower, but what you're doing off the fibs tells me otherwise, and what you're doing on the daily RSI tells me otherwise as well. So I do think that you're going to move up over the coming days, over the coming weeks especially, and we'll see where you go. The next target area is $13 to $15.13. I want to see how you do with that. It wouldn't surprise me if you just like tore right through it because this is your third interaction with it. But also you could find, some consolidation in this area and then move up, something like that. So just because you don't tear through it, don't be discouraged, right? You could even find resistance here, pull back to your 0.5 and then move up. That's a very common thing to do as well. So I do want to look at this a little bit more in depth real quick, from a low point here to a high point there. Yes. Tipping the 618, dude. Beautiful. So beautiful. Get above 1121. When you get above 1121, based off this, and this is a very, you respect the 618 like that, this is a respected fib, absolutely. You get above 1121.7 cents, right? 1121, $11.21 there. $11.21. You get above there, and then we can talk about $20, $28 and beyond. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so that's that. KCS. Let's move on from there. BELLSCOIN. Tether on CoinEx, right? I think that's what you wanted, Chappie. Well, my friend, unfortunately, I think you requested this before it did this. It's up 150% this week. So I'm sorry that I came in late on this one here, but damn, man, you tried to get us in it before. When did you request this here? Let's see, Chappie, Chappie, where you at? Let me see. BELLSCOIN yesterday at 12:06 in the morning, dude. So maybe not the whole move. Maybe not the whole move. Before this day, somewhere in this consolidation, before it was up another like 50%. Damn, bro. Nice. It's looking good. I like the volume. The RSI is really hot. You can't sustain this kind of growth for too much longer, but you probably do have more to go. Yes, I think so. It looks really good. You're probably going to go up to 250. You're at $1.50 now. Don't be scared if you pull. You're at $1.50. Don't be scared if you pull all the way back to $1.06. Don't be scared if you pull all the way back to 85 cents. Absolutely, I believe you're going to 250 or higher before this move is done. But you've seen the majority of it take place so far, that's for sure. But even with that, man, you still got a little bit of a ways to go. Like it looks pretty good. The volume don't lie, the RSI don't lie, and the price action don't lie. You tore through your 886. This is your target area. 250, 540. I'm a bit hesitant to call for these numbers only because you've seen such a phenomenal amount of growth in a short amount of time, but they are still on the table. 343, 540, they are something to mention, but I am going to heavily emphasize this 250 area personally. And perhaps you do end up hitting this. Perhaps what you do is you hit this 250, you pull all the way back to your 886, very common maneuver to make, and then you go right up to your 618 from there, right? Like that can happen. But time will tell. It looks good. It looks like it wants to continue. Yes. Chappie, this might be the winner. Actually, I'm not 100% sure, but BELLSCOIN might be the winner for tonight, you guys. When I say the winner, I mean the one that I believe will grow the most in the shortest amount of time. Flower Child, I really thought you were going to win, but Chappie stepped in and stole that from you. So you can be upset with him. Don't be upset with me, okay? That's BELLSCOIN. Let's talk about KSM now for DK Fu. Kusama, I forget. Yeah, it's not looking too hot, is it? Let's see. What is crypto? Get it. That's sad. It's a nice monthly recovery, though, I gotta say. You showed up in your time of need here. I really don't like that. You know, I was calling for you to go to your 618, I believe, the last time I talked about this. Bro, I'm hard pressed, and I'm sure I said in my last video too, you could move up first, right, a lower high. I still think just the way this looks on the fibs, I'm bro, rejecting the 50 on the monthly, rejecting your 382 on this. I have a hard time believing that you're going to move up higher without interacting with this area here. And you reached for it. This could be bullish, but I wouldn't really be bullish on this thing at all until you're above like $25, $24.90 to be fair. When you get above there, then I can start accepting that I'm wrong. But until then, I'm sticking with this 1150, 720 price prediction for it to go down to probably 1150, probably around there. I doubt it goes too much lower, but yeah, I don't like it. I really don't like these fibs. I don't like the way that the chart looks. I can be wrong, but I don't like your weekly RSI. I don't like your monthly RSI. Your daily RSI looks nice for now, but you're also at the point where you'd expect to find resistance. You do have higher highs with lower highs. It's hidden bearish divergence. In a downtrend, that marks continuation. Continuation means lower highs and lower lows. You're at your lower high, lower low, man. I think it's going down. I do. I don't know if you're expecting me to change my mind because it went up, but this is just standard volatility. I'm not impressed by this move. It's nice. It's a nice little relief rally, but in the grand scheme of things, it's the same as this. It's the same as this. It's the same as this, these, right? Like it's nothing too exciting. I want to see what the volume looks like. Let's go on, let's do Coinbase. It's not there. It's not there at all, man. Yeah, it's not a good look, bro. Good time to short, maybe. Really good time to short, probably, but not financial advice. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. You're overbought as hell on your 4 hour, or you've been overbought for a while and you haven't done anything, right? You've been overbought and you haven't done anything. You really haven't done anything at all. You're just a lower high. So down is what I think for Kusama. Unfortunately, because I know that one had a lot of promise to it whenever it, last cycle, but that's okay, man. It's okay, right? Last cycle, right? Yeah. With Dogwifhat. Oh man. Everybody was talking about how this is the next big meme coin back here, and they've been silent for a very long time. I think people are starting to yip and yap about it again. Low to high here. Similar kind of idea. It's not impossible to do this, find this low here and then move up from here. It's not impossible, but being that it is a Doge meme, more or less, and being that it looks the way it does on the fibs, I would expect you at least would go to this like 95, 94 cent area. Find support there and then move up. That's what I would expect. Weekly RSI isn't too impressive. Price action isn't too impressive. I don't like your daily RSI either. It could be productive. It could move up. I do want to throw a correlation coefficient on there to Dogecoin, because it is a Doge meme, right? Any dog meme, it's by default a Doge. I don't like its fib. I really don't like its fib, and that's okay. That's just for now. I do think WIF is going to do well throughout the cycle. I really do, but I don't know, man. If you can't get, really you have to get above that $1.98.35 area. If you can get above there, I'm wrong. I'm wrong, because then it'll look productive. But if you find resistance at $1.76, if you find resistance here, if you get below $1.36 again, especially on a closing basis, absolutely you're going lower. And where are you going lower to again? I forget. I just said it, low to high here. Going to 95, 94 cents, maybe even lower. Maybe lower. But I like the idea of finding support at that 94, 95 cent area, especially on a strong move like this. But yeah, man. I'm having a hard time. I wonder. I'm going to throw this on there real quick. Hold on. If you're below your 50, that just adds to what I'm saying. If you're below the 50 level on this RSI, yeah, you're going down. I'm quite confident that you're going to go down. Yeah. This is probably a perfect area to sell is what it is, even if it goes up a little bit higher. But not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. And I really do think WIF will do well, but I want to throw a correlation coefficient on with Dogecoin, right? Just to see if we can further prove the point. Go on a daily, very correlated. Go on a weekly, very correlated. Yes, as of late. So Dogecoin's going to be boring probably for the next month or two. WIF can be boring and slip a little bit, and that's okay. It's a very bullish chart. I do expect Dogecoin to start turning up as early as like the end of October, if not November, if not even a little bit later. It could go as late as like the beginning of next year, like literally January, like very early January of next year. But soon, we're getting to that point where Dogecoin will start ripping, and when Dogecoin rips, all these Doge memes, they're gonna rip harder. So this thing, when it comes time for it to rip, we don't know where its low is going to be per se. I keep forgetting, what was it, 94 cents, 95 cents? Yeah. Let's just try and put it right there, right? $7.52, $13, and absolutely beyond, right? Like if this is a bull flag, which it looks like a pretty damn good looking bull flag to me. Didn't draw the straightest line there, but I did get the low to the high at least. All right, that's not even the low to high actually. Let's do it. Let's get this low to high here. There you go, right there. We put it at the low of, what was it, 94 cents. Somewhere around there. If this is a bull flag, man, you really could see prices all the way up at $65, right? $60, somewhere around there by the end of this next move. It's hard to say. Oh wait, that it might even actually be higher. I might be too bearish there. Let's see. Hold on. Let me try and get it right at that 94 cent area, 94, 95 cent area. Come on now, a little bit right there. Sure. It'll probably be a little bit higher than that, but somewhere around there. That goes all the way up to your 2618. Coincidence? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know, man. That's at 68 bucks. 69. 69, bro, for whiff, right? Doge liked its 420 area, right? 4.2 cent area. 42, was it? Let's actually look at that real quick. I'm going to go ahead and see. Maybe it was the 69 cent area that Dogecoin liked as well, right? Let's see. Going on a daily here. Going all the way back to the way back. Didn't you find some resistance at 420? Maybe I'm just making that up. Oh, you found support at that 420 area. And then 444, around 420 for like 420 there, but not quite. And then, yeah, no 69. Nope, no 69 cent. Close to the 69 cent area, but not quite there. But I'm just saying, man, maybe you do, because it is a meme coin. It's a silly meme coin. Sometimes these silly numbers are the ones that, and not that 69 is a silly number, but most people interpret it as a silly number. I don't know. It lines up with the 2618 at any rate. Maybe it's just a happy coincidence, but we don't even have the low. This isn't really an appropriate way to do any of this. This is really taking a prediction and predicting on top of a prediction. But all this to say, I am quite confident that WIF has a lot of growth to go by the end of the cycle, and certainly by the end of this next move, but it's just not time yet. It's not time yet. A couple months from now, maybe, but it's going to be boring and down. Good time to accumulate. You put an idea in my head here, DK Foo. This might be one that I'm interested in buying. I don't know, man. Actually, I come to think of it, I might buy some WIF. Actually, you guys, Matic. I'm going to talk about Matic now. Polygon here. They've been wanting to change their ticker to Polygon or something. Not Matic, but they haven't done it. Or at least that's what I've heard. But 1272 hit. You need to get above 55 cents. You get above 55 cents and then it's on, or it's looking like this is the low. If you can't find prices above the 886, things are looking bad. In fact, if you found resistance in this area, if you could not get above and then you got back below the 100, it would start to look scary. You get back below, and especially if you close below that 1272, Matic's dead, you guys. It's dead. So don't do that. Don't do any of that. Just get above here. Do that, you know. And then really you need to get above the 618, and then once you do that, okay, it's safe. It's fine. It's going up. You know, it's fine. But you're in a precarious place right now. You need to show strength, and you are. You're up 28.6% this week. Good job. Just keep doing it, right? I'm going to look at that. Correlated to Doge, not correlated. It's actually got a pretty positive correlation to Dogecoin most of the time. Let's see. Daily RSI is pretty hot. I like the volume. I'm not too afraid of that at all. It looks fine. Let's look at this. Let's see. Kind of like a double bottom, actually, overall. I like that, too, and it's a very positive reaction. I have faith that this thing's going to do fine. I really do. Get above, I'd like to see you get above that, what was it, 55 cents? I'd really like to see you get above 57.3 cents, and then I'd have a lot more confidence this thing is moving up, and I think it will. I do think it will. Bullish divergence on your weekly RSI. You're seeing that move now. Just continue it. Don't stop here. Because if you stop here and you turn around, things could look really bad, you guys. And Matic's one of those big coins, man. We see it happen every cycle. The big ones that people expect to do well cycle after cycle, sometimes they don't, but we'll see. We'll see. I like it. I do think it continues to go up, so just do that. Get above your 886, get above that 382, get above this 382 here, right, from high to low at 57 cents, 57.3 cents, and get above the 886 here from this low to high at 55 cents, right? Really, I guess 57 cents would be a safer bet, but if you get above that 886, I'm happy. But do not find resistance in this zone. Do not close below this level, right? It's okay. If you find resistance in this zone, there's still hope, but really, I mean, it would look scary. So all this worry, all this caution that I'm throwing out there, it's just something that I'm mentioning because of where we are in the chart. All of that would go away if you just get a little bit higher, right? You're at 53 cents right now, about that. I'm just asking for you to go up 4 cents. Technically, really only like 2 cents. So just do that, right? Do that, Matic. Do that. Can you do that? Will you do that? I like the daily RSI. I like the volume. I like the 4-hour RSI. I like the way the price action looks. So I think it will. I think it will do that. Matic. Over the coming week, right? That's what you're asking. Over the coming week, yeah, I think it moves up. I do think it moves up. If I really had to guess over the coming week where it would go, I like that. That's nice to see. Oh, bro, that's actually, I'm much more, I like it. I like it right now. I like the short-term look. Hopefully the long-term stuff doesn't overtake it in a negative way, and the short-term stuff plays off the long-term stuff in a positive way. But with the way it looks right now, all that caution aside, 63.5 cents to 75 cents could be where you go over the coming weeks, something like that. As far as like a week from now, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you exactly where it's going to be, but maybe yeah, like 58 cents, 63.5 cents, 75 cents, somewhere in that zone. Higher. It looks good. It looks like it wants. I mean, I like that close above this 886, ripping right through the 6. It looks really good. Ripping right through the golden ratio. Based off of this fib, which it's significant enough, I would think you're good for this. And hitting that would absolutely throw all that caution out the window, and Matic would again look good, and it would look exactly like what it's setting up for, which is a double bottom, right? A double bottom at the low of this overall long phase of accumulation, and you're probably going to go back up to the top. So just do that. Keep looking good. Keep being productive throughout the next couple days and the next week. That's my request for Matic. The request inside the request. Let's talk about GRT, the graph. Higher lows, higher highs, looking like it's at a key area to find a higher low. Nice, probably going to move up from here. Low here to high, 618, 69 area at the 786, tipped it, beautiful. Getting above that 618 this week. I would love to see that close above the 618 this week. That'd be nice to see. I'm surprised you didn't get to your oversold zone, but that's not a bad look at all. I mean, if you keep moving up, especially if you get above that 40, man, that's a nice look. That's actually stronger than it is weaker. It's not common, but when it does happen, it's a very powerful signal. From a low point here to a low point here, you didn't really. These horizontal or these diagonal lines aren't always like the most respected. I think it's pretty cleanly respected nonetheless. But I mean, that's nice, right? Based off of any of these interactions you've had with this area, that's the most positive one. So that's kind of nice to see. I want to see this real quick. Maybe. Yeah, you're looking good. You're looking good. Get above 16 cents. Do that. Just do that. Get above 16 cents. Get my worries out of the way. Daily RSI looks great. Weekly RSI looks fine. I'm not worried about it. It would look really good if it continues. 4 hour looks strong, so it looks like it's going to continue. So yeah, I think GRT, really, let's just keep it simple. It's in an uptrend. Higher lows, higher highs. You're looking to find your next higher high. From here, from your relative high to relative low here, you went all the way up to your 1272. From this relative high here to this relative low here, you went to your 1618. So perhaps from this one, you do something that's in those same areas, if not in between. High to low, 75 or 74 cents to $1.24 could be your next high that you're working towards. Looks like it likes to move up pretty fast whenever it does decide to move. This took, from October to March, 5 months. This took from December, end of December to the beginning of February, so like 2 months, not even 2 months. So potentially by the end of the year, if not sometime in the beginning of next year, you could be at 74 to $1.24, something like that, if this holds up the way that it looks like it's going to. So yeah, GR. Oh, and you wanted me to do cycle high predictions. I'm not completely convinced that the graph will see new all-time highs. I'm not completely convinced yet. It could. I wouldn't doubt it, right? I'm not going to bet that it doesn't either. I'm just not completely convinced. I'd want to see how you interact with this 618 area. And ultimately, the 886 area is your final boss, and that is really close to your all-time highs, but that's just how it is. But before that, we need to get a good gauge off of this 618, 69 area. I would have loved to see you interact with it here, find support after 382, and then move up, but that just didn't happen. But that's okay. That still doesn't. You're in a nice uptrend right now. So let's just see how it does with the end of the year. Let's see where it will be. That 618 is actually right in that zone that I was calling for. Hey, let's just see how it interacts with this, right? And then especially that 886 zone. But if it does see new all-time highs, if it does, you're at 16 cents now. You could see prices as high as 866, maybe even 35 bucks. Ha! As crazy as that sounds. As crazy as that sounds. Let's see what's GRT's market cap. Crazy things happen, man. That's what I love it whenever I make these calls, right? I make calls like this for various things, and I do not expect all of them, maybe not even half of them, maybe not even a quarter of them to come true. But they can. This is crypto. Things do 100x's, things do 1000x's in a single cycle in this space. This is not your stock market. This is not commodities. This is not the real estate market, right? This is not your average market, okay? Crazy things can happen. It's new technology. It's a new space. We're still in that euphoric, exciting thing. Most people still think crypto is a scam, you guys, okay? Absolutely, we're in the part of crypto. We're in the very part of crypto's existence where crazy shit can happen at any given moment. Like literally, it's there's not a lot of cycle left, right? We probably have about a year left. Yes, in a year's time or less, or even just a little bit more than that, you could see this thing go from 16 cents all the way up to $35. It's completely possible. I say that. I say that with such confidence because of the fibs, but let's actually see if it's possible. Based off of the market cap, maybe not, actually. I mean, it is possible. Again, it is still possible because if something significant happens, if we see GRT being accepted or being, oh man, this plant is looking sad. I need to water it. I got a plant up here. It's actually looking more sad than it has in a while. I'll do that later. Distracted. If it was to be like the next big thing, then you could see that. But still, these targets nonetheless are completely, I think, more reasonable. 866 to 1535. But yes, $15 or $34 is possible. Let's see. That would be a 20. Oh no, not a 20. Wait, would it be a 20x? It'd be a 200. A 209x is what that would be. Be a 209x. So this would then see a market cap of like $300 billion. I'm not saying it's impossible. I doubt it. I doubt it'll see that by the end of this cycle, but it could. It's possible. It is in its second bull cycle, technically. It saw the ass end of one cycle. It could. It is possible. However, I would more firmly believe that, something like $15 to $866, that's probably more possible, especially that 866 area. Anything from the current price that's like a 54x, 51x to potentially like a 92x, still very phenomenal gains. But again, the word possible, not certain. We still have to see how we interact with the 618. We still have to see how we act with the 886. I did say that I'm not completely in before I started any of this bullish stuff. Before anybody gets on me saying, "Oh, he says it's going to go up here. What an idiot," or what a messiah, like whatever stance you want to take on that. I did say originally, I'm not completely convinced that GRT will see new all-time highs. It's got a lot of proving to do first. Okay, so just keeping that in mind. Okay, but I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't bet against it. I'm playing it cautious before I say anything. But these are the numbers. These are the target areas. $8.66, 1533. And oops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to just take this away. 1535, I'm sorry, and then $35-ish are the target areas. That seems a bit insane. These ones are a little bit more probable. I'm repeating myself. Let's move on. No Rune for you, Flower Child, but we are going to talk about XCN for Cactus XCN here. Man, I feel so bad. I've neglected you. Oh, I'm going to have to. I've never seen it look this sad before. It's still fine, but I need to water that plant. It's an African milk bush. Look it up if you're curious to see what it looks like. It's an African milk bush. I mean that's what I was told. Let's see. African milk bush. African milk tree. Yeah, this one right here. That's it. African milk bush. That one. That's it right there. Yeah. Yep. Let's see here. XCN, chilling. Normally, especially with this kind of look, I would expect that you go down to your 1272. I'm biased because I own some XCN, right? This is one of the coins that I own. It's not my biggest hold by any means, but I think it has a lot of potential. That's why it's not one of my biggest holds. People tend to put all their money in the coins that they see the most potential in. I put the most money, and I think most people should put the heaviest bag in the coin that they feel the most safe in. Not the one that gets them drooling the most, but the one that they can sleep well at night, you know, like that's the one you want. XCN, I don't mind. I don't sleep bad at night because I own it, right? Like, but I'm not 100% confident on it, right? It hasn't proven itself. It's only really seen a bear market. It hasn't had a bull market yet, so we still don't know what it's going to do. But I do have a decent hand in it, right? I've got more probably than the average bear in this thing. But being completely objective, the way this looks, if you can't get above that 886, I would expect you go down to this 1272, which is about 3085, 307, 3054, anywhere in this area. If you were to see new all-time lows in a bull cycle, this thing's done. It's done. So don't do that. Don't do that. We don't want to see you do that, right? Don't do that. Weekly RSI looking productive enough, but still bearish. Again, the call as of right now would be 3085, but let's just see if that holds up, right? And that's not the call per se. It's just the call if we can't get above this 886. If we get below this 100 level, before the 886 level, which is at 2014, and the 100 is at 2012, 121 technically. That's kind of what we want to watch, right? Get above here, good. We're clear. We're going up. We're going to see new highs relative to this high right here, right? And likely what we would see is something that would be up at, let's see, from a high to a low. By the time that new high comes in, it would be at 20665, 20 or to about 1 cent even, right? So decent gains, probably in a very short amount of time. This thing does like to move up fast whenever it moves. But if you close below that 20121 area, bad, man, bad. So do that. Definitely do move up. I like the daily RSI. It's neutral, but I like it. It does look more productive. You're wrestling with the 50 and you're getting above it now. Flat top. Yes, you're wicking up above it, but it's a low cap coin. So really you're closing here, shaved top. You're looking like you're wanting to see a breakout. So over the next days, really over the next week, I would like to see this thing move up higher. Get above 20147. Do that. Get above there. And then really get above 20173. Once you're there, I'm completely convinced that this thing is fine. So I do think it is going to move up. I'm just curious to see what it does. But for now, the next target area to go for would be this area, the 61869 area, 20147, 20153. You've already interacted with it once, so it is completely possible that we could just move right up through to the 786, 886 area at 20163, 20173. Look for that. Look for that. And, you know, I'd feel pretty safe in this thing if we can get above that 618 area, and definitely, like, vindicated once we get above this 886. So, but we don't want to go below that 20121 area. That's what we don't want to do. And I don't think we will, but I am addressing it because I think it's worth addressing. Neutral with a bullish charge on the 4-hour RSI. A little bit more productive as of late, but overall pretty neutral with a bullish look. So hopefully it does move up, and I think it will, but we'll see. Time will tell. And it'll probably happen again over the coming days or even the next week and a half or so. I would bet we get some resolution as to what it's going to do, and I do think it's going to move up. So time will tell. Long story short, that's all I got for you guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Congratulations, not congratulations, it's congratulations to Chappie. You are the winner, my friend. I don't know if that's your first request or your first request in a while, but BELLSCOIN absolutely is. I would feel the most confident that it will make money in the shortest amount of time out of all these options that we have. So yeah, looking good. Anyways, guys, hit that like button. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.